quite often people have a sense of negotiation as the art of persuasion and the dark art of manipulation, or it falls somewhere in between. And manipulation obviously has a negative connotation. Persuasion can be a little bit more ethical, if you like. Are both of those ideas nonsense from the point of view of negotiation, or do people have to effectively navigate their way through both of them?
So, look, firstly, I'm not a moral philosopher, okay, and I think we are getting into if we want to get deep into it, we are getting into quite can be quite deep ethical questions there that I think probably do require a moral philosopher to resolve. But what I will say is that you're right. What is persuasion and what is manipulation? Well, it's difficult to define that. If I were to ask you, can you pass me the salt? Well, I'm manipulating you to pass me the salt. But as you say, the word manipulation has got a kind of a charge to it. There's it's got a connotation that there's something underhand about it, or I'm tricking you into doing something you wouldn't want to do, and such like. And so I really believe in the ethical approach to negotiation and the ethical approach to influencing. And because, interestingly, I do think out there in the world right now, the approaches to influence are generally either use force, like we have in the Middle East or Russia, Ukraine, etc., or lie, like we have with certain ex-British prime ministers that spring to mind, or ex-American presidents or whatever, or manipulate, like online purchasing or whatever, trick you into clicking on the wrong link or whatever, trick you into getting addicted to their product and such like. And I think that there's way too much of this unethical approach to influencing. And interestingly, I think the ethical approach is actually more powerful. The approach where I sit down with you or sit down with the other person and have a chat and listen to your response and listen to what you're trying to achieve and say, well, okay, I'd like to get this and you'd like to get this. How can we both get that? That's going to be, certainly in the long term, but even in the short term, a much more powerful approach. Being honest, being genuine is a really powerful method of persuading. And so so a lot of the book, or both books, are about that. Because you're right, it is a question that needs to be addressed. Yeah.